Okay. Hello, parents. My name is Todd Osborne, and this is AP US History. And you're here because your son or daughter is in my class and you want to get a little information on back to school night. So, thought I'd introduce myself a little bit. As I said, my name's Todd Osborne. I've been teaching here at Millikan for 17 years. This is my 18th. So I have officially taught longer than your child has been alive. Started in the fall of 2003. And I started teaching AP US history in the fall of 2008. So I've been doing that now 12 years, going on 13. Um, I went to UCI for my undergraduate in political science, and then I went to Cal State Long Beach to get my master's. So I am absolutely in heaven. I um, studied history my whole life. I have a passion for it, and I get to talk about it all day long and get paid to do it. So this is an absolute dream job for me, and I'm very glad that your son or daughter's in my class so that I can help guide them through US history this year and hopefully prepare them for the AP test. So the first piece of information I wanted to share with you is unfortunately bad news, and that is that there will not be a Quest field trip this year for the juniors or probably for any grade level. This is because we will not return at least until January 28th. It may be even longer, and we can't take the risk on, planning for an event where we may not even be back in school and we may be social distancing. So it's unfortunate. This group of students, got cheated out of a field trip last year, and it looks like it's going to happen again this year. But we roll with the punches and we soldier on. Sort of the history of this country, I suppose. So, Canvas. I wanted to talk a little bit about the things in my class, how the class is designed, and just to acquaint you with it. And if you had any questions about that or anything, you can certainly email me. But I just want to give you sort of an overview, a tour of how my class works. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you here so that you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so first, let me just pick one of these classes. So this will be period 1. This is how it looks when I look at it, but I'm going to show you the student view so it looks like what it would look like if your son or daughter were looking at this page. So this is my home page. When they log into Canvas, they have their 6 classes, and when they click on AP US History, this is the main page that they'll see. This is my Bitmoji classroom. I just thought it was kind of a fun, friendly little setup to have. My wife helped me design it. She did 99% of the work. On this page, you will find my Zoom link here. So the kids all should know this by this point. They click on this, and it takes them directly to my Zoom class that I have. This here is the link to my YouTube channel, which I can click on it here and show you that this is where my lectures are uploaded. Just in case students don't have access to Canvas. Sometimes it's easier. A lot of students tell me that, if they're on their phone and they're exercising or doing chores, they can listen to lecture while they're doing it and kind of, multitask and study while they're doing that. So that was just something I thought would be useful. Some of my lectures go a little long and they don't fit onto Canvas, and YouTube allows kind of unlimited space there. So I thought it was something that would be useful, and it's working out pretty well. But that's the main page there. If you go down to pages, you get again the home page, but you have this button up here that says view all pages. And there's a few things here I just wanted to show you. The first is that there is a link for the digital textbook. So students might say, well, Mr. Osborne, my parents are divorced and they live at 2 different houses. And I left my book with my mom and I went to my dad's for a week and I didn't have the textbook. Well, you have the digital textbook right here. So if they click on that link, this right here will take them to a digital version of the textbook. So there should be no excuse. It should be, the student should always be able to complete their homework assignment. There's a little bar at the bottom here that lets them scroll through the book. or they can flip one page at a time, or they can look at it with one page or with two. They can blow it up, they can shrink it down. And there's even a feature here with the headphones where it will actually read to them.
Voices: evangelical religion and enlightenment, rationalism, two great historical movements, enlightenment thought and piety.
The voice is a little bit robotic, but you get the point. So I just thought that was kind of a cool thing, just to have redundancy built in. So the students should have the textbook. Incidentally, I just wanted to show you my copy of it. Theirs should roughly look like this. Oh, it's pretty heavy. America's History by Henretta et al. It's kind of a committee textbook. It's a great textbook. I was on the committee that adopted it about 5 years ago. But in case they ever lose it, they're ever missing it, then they have this link to the digital one, and so they should never be without it. Okay, I wanted to talk next about homework. So homework is an important part of the class, but I'm a little worried. We've turned in 2 homework assignments so far, and some students are doing very well, some students are struggling a bit, and I wanted to show you a couple of examples of kind of ideal student work. So the students are to read a chapter, about 1 a week is our schedule, and my rule of thumb is that students should take about 3 hours, maybe a little more max, per week, because these reading assignments are always at least 6 days. Sometimes they're as many as 8. And I try to tell them, please don't wait till the last minute, but being human beings, sometimes we procrastinate. And they are to write Cornell notes on the 1 chapter of notes that they read. A chapter is about 30 pages or so. And so let me show you a couple of examples of really good work there, because this is probably bound to come up where there's a moment where your child is up, it's 2 in the morning, and they're complaining that they have this homework assignment for AP US History and that it's just, really burdensome. I wanted to show you a couple of examples so that the students don't get carried away with it. So this is one student's assignment. I made sure that the name wasn't on there. But I thought that it was very good. It was thorough, it's clear, it's legible. And as you can see, this particular student highlighted and underlined each of the sections and subsections. And it's not too lengthy, which is what I like. So let me show you the second page of it. Share screen. Here we go. So it really is just 2 pages, or 1 page front and back, you might call it. And it's, I feel, perfectly balanced between taking down as much information as you might want to, but not overburdening yourself, because I gave this as a guideline. 2 pages of notes would be ideal. Some students are turning in 6, 7, 8 pages of work, and I want to make sure that the work is not too burdensome for them. Now, some students read half the chapter and they took long notes, but it only covered the material of the first half, and I told them, I'm only going to give you half credit for that. Don't stop with 2 pages of notes, or don't try to just take copious amounts of notes aimlessly. Make sure you read the entire chapter, and your notes should be fairly short. No penalty if they go beyond that, but I'm trying to unburden them from some of this work that some of them are kind of struggling with. Notes are going to be 25% of the overall grade for the course. The homework is the backbone, and that's what I need most help from you, parents, is sort of staying on top of them. I can't physically come to your house and say, go get your textbook and read. But parents, you can sort of help me out with that. Make sure that they're doing their reading, that they're doing their Cornell notes, and that they're on pace with that. If they do the reading, everything else falls into place. They can write really well in class. They can participate in class discussions. Everything else is just so much easier when they have that backbone of the class, the foundation, which is the reading. Okay. Let's see. So the next thing to talk about is the lecture notes. So I'll go ahead and show you under assignments. This is the one that we're working on now, on the revolution. And so I'll always come on to a Zoom conference and I'll have the students. Sometimes we do synchronous work where I'll have sort of an essay type question. I'll get the students into breakout groups. They'll discuss it. We'll come back, we'll debrief, and I'll work with them the whole period. And then sometimes I think they need a break. And so for a few days, we'll say, okay, now you're going to work independently. I'll pre-record my lecture and I'll post it here. And when we come on the Zoom call, I'll spend 10 minutes showing them how to do it. And then I just turn them loose. They have to stay on the Zoom call, but they can work independently. And so the PowerPoint is here. I also have Google Slides here in case students don't have PowerPoint. Oh, I realized I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry, let me go back. Share screen. It is a fine art to teach online. I'm getting used to it here. So this is the Revolution lecture. If you go to assignment folder, it has all the assignments for the class there, divided up by which category it's in. This is the one we're on now, Revolution. And so here is the PowerPoint. If you don't have PowerPoint, you have Google Slide. You can click on that. And then students can listen to the lecture that I give orally and scroll through the lecture notes, and then they can save those, they can edit them, they can do what they want with them. Okay, so also, this particular video was too big to post to Canvas. It was over 500 megabytes. So I gave the link here to the YouTube channel, but most of the time the lecture fits right in the window and they just have to play it. And again, here's the lecture, and they click on that, and that's Thomas Paine. And there's me lecturing there. I won't punish you by having you listen to it, but that's kind of how I'll do that. Okay. So as they listen to it, as they follow the slides, there are these sort of content questions, usually one question or two for every slide, just to make sure they listened to the lecture, they were engaged. And these are practice questions for the AP test. They're in that vein, so it'll prepare them for it. That also is 25% of their grade. So homework, the Cornell notes are 25%, lecture notes, classwork, 25%. Let me show you the next thing, which is tests and quizzes. So these are kind of cool. Canvas allows you to make a quiz and then administer it, and it just grades itself and drops it into the grade book. It's really a time saver. It's quite nice. Let's see if I can find it here. Students. Well, by the time you watch this, students will have already taken the Chapter 4 quiz, so I can go ahead and show that to you. Okay, so you're kind of seeing my end of it, which is a little bit different. But here would be the questions to it, and then they have multiple choice options there to pick. They get 5 minutes. They have their book open. They have their Cornell notes, which hopefully organize their thoughts on the chapter. And it's right there. Oh no, I forgot to share my screen again, didn't I? Okay. So let me go back to assignments. Sorry about that. Okay, so here it is. Here's my assignments. When they come on once a week, and whenever there is a homework assignment that's due and we have a quiz on it, I'll tell them where the quiz is. I'll say, you know, make sure you go to this quiz. And then they open it up and it's there for them. And they read the question. And when they view it, when it's activated, there'll be 4 options there to pick from. They go through multiple choice, select it, hit submit, and then it all grades it and drops into the grade book on its own. And they can use their notes and their textbook on it, as I said. Okay, the last thing is writing assessment. We haven't had one of those yet. I usually do that once we're about 4 or 5 weeks in and I feel the students are comfortable with me. They've worked a lot in groups and they know the material, and then we'll do a short answer question, a long essay question, a DBQ, a document-based question. We're not quite there yet, but when we do, that will be 25% of their grade as well. So tests and quizzes that I just went over, that's also 25%. So we have 1/4 on each section, 4 sections. So writing, 25%, homework, 25%, classwork, 25%, and test quizzes, 25%. So We will have tests. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that remotely. The AP Classroom website does have options to do that, but I haven't had time yet to go in there and build a test and administer it. But everybody assures me that that is a good and secure way to do it, and it will be happening in the next month or so. All right. So the last thing just to mention is that the AP test is on May 6th. I have no idea exactly how it will be administered. It's very bizarre because part of the country is meeting in person. Part of the country, like us, is teaching remotely. May 6th, where will we be? I don't know. The College Board doesn't seem to know, and they haven't notified us if they're going to have two different types of tests, if it will be like last year, available remotely, or if it will be only in person, or if it will be both. Whatever the case is, the test will be May 6th. If they're in my class, they're registered through AP Classroom, we will order them a test for the district. And as you well know, they pass this test, they get their college credit. I think it's a great opportunity. So that basically concludes my little intro video. If you have any questions, please email me. I love to answer any questions that you have, clear up any confusion, and let me know. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.